Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of your daily crypto news with Vibin and my guy, Mr. Crypto Beast, Scott Tripp. We just like as there you go. But as you guys know, we just open up this segment daily just to talk about some of the current events that's going on in the crypto news. We try to get the latest and greatest, and sometimes if there's no latest and greatest, we might dive a little deeper into some things that we might have jumped into yesterday. And again, as you guys know, I'm one of the admins here at BigONE, as well as Asia Blockcast. And I'm excited for the bull run that's about to occur. And I'll let Scott tell you a little bit more about himself.
Yeah, for sure. As you guys already know, Scott with BigONE. I do all the marketing for Canada and the US right now. I'm having lots of fun, you guys. I really enjoy this news time that we have. Like I say, every time, like this is the fun time. And I love that you guys are really starting to pick up on it. I'm seeing our views going up really high lately and faster than before. So keep that up and comment underneath if you watch it or whatever. I love to see your comments as well. So yeah.
As you guys know, I always have like a cool little different background. As you know, always if I'm bullish about something, I might post it on the backdrop. But it's been a lot of news circulating around Polkadot lately, the parachain on 11/11. So, just to stay in current news, that's why we have the background today. But just to dive into a little bit more news for the people who are watching charts today, as you see, Solana was making a good move, breaking out with more than, I think it was 11% today. And it took them to be in the sixth largest market cap on the total market cap on in the crypto space. So that's interesting news for Solana. And I think with the NFTs and them being one of the competing NFTs that go on the CoinBase NFT platform that they're building out, that's gonna definitely raise the value.
That's awesome. I love hearing that too. Just like the market seemed to be going down, but there's some that are still going up, and that's a consolidation period that we'll probably see. Right? We'll probably see a lot of that. So that's awesome.
It's healthy.
It is healthy for sure. Okay, one of the fun ones that I read today that I get a kick out of, Elon Musk tweets, Tesla CEO claims that he'll become the world's first DogeCoin trillionaire in a recent tweet. They're reading into it a bit, but it's kind of funny. Uber Facts reached out and said, Elon Musk is predicted to become the first world's trillionaire thanks to SpaceX. And he put an asterisk in DogeCoin. So, and as always, with that tweet, he actually did drive up the market in DogeCoin. I don't know what the price is now. I haven't looked in the last little bit. Actually, I can look while we're talking anyways and just see kind of where it went to, because I kind of get a kick out of that. But if I look,
I always get a kick out of the celebrities or people who have that that following control the market or control their market as far as like how their the community moves by what they say. So to hear him tweeting about Doge or exposing or talking about Doge, it's actually good. It's good for the community. I'm here for it. I think the more Doge that can get burned up, the faster, the better. It'll make it it'll raise the value for sure. Well, but I'm not sure what their number is today as well.
That it's at 24 cents. It's down 0.05, but you can still tell that he definitely had an impact on the price. There's no question. And that's a funny thing, like with the board that they're building behind Doge and the second, like I think they discussed building a second version of it. They realize that the stuff behind DogeCoin isn't going to work for what it needs to be. So like they're going to change it. And when they do change it, I expect to see the price definitely change from where it's at. Now, does that mean a burn in supply too as well, potentially? I don't know, but it'll be interesting. At least a burn in so they print tokens every year in DogeCoin. So I can see that potentially ending is what I'm thinking, and something be put in its place or something. But let's wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Another interesting thing that I seen today, I don't know if you've seen it, was the BEP95 from Binance Smart Chain, BSC network. They're proposing to come out with this new deflationary type token that would increase the burn on the BSC network as well as the BNB network. So what it would do is come into a like, so whether charging the fees, you know how you get charged the gas fees for your transaction fees, they're actually going to burn a portion of that. So that would actually take these tokens out of circulation. If you think about the daily volume, that would help them stabilize the price of Binance Smart Chain and BNB, because as you know, it'll fluctuate. It'll have some 30% swings here and there. But if it wants to become one of the stable coins, then they have to kind of, balance that out around the, 10 to 15%,
Yeah,
over the course of 2 days.
and that makes sense. Like they're evolving just like some of these other projects are. So it's good to see like the Binance is doing the right moves, putting that money out there, doing the big burn that they did. I mean, there's so many things that they're doing properly. I think that is definitely going to impact the price of that token. There's no question.
Yeah, man. I mean, they burned 640 million US dollars worth of BNB. So that was very interesting to see.
Yeah, and another article for you here. So Robinhood crypto wallet waitlist hits 1 million people right now. So on September 22nd, Robinhood finally announced its plan to roll out a digital asset wallet and open up a waitlist for its first access. So now over 1 million people waiting for that digital wallet. That's pretty impressive. I mean, in the same sense, like, and I don't mean to be rude to them or anything like that. And I don't think there's a million of them, but that's like kind of like Safe Moon and everybody waiting for their wallet. Sometimes
I would say in a sense, yeah, but you got to remember, like, Robinhood was an early start platform for a lot of Americans. That was the first way they were able to really get into Doge. So a lot of those Doge holders use Robinhood, right? So the one thing I will say, where it would be different than Safe Moon, I think that team is going to put out a really, really, really well polished wallet, right? Like, so as easy as it was for you to be able to purchase Doge on the exchange, not knowing anything about crypto, from being able just to go onto their exchange to do it, I got to think they're going to mimic that same principle times something else with their wallet, especially to be taking their time with the release of it. And you have to remember that their transaction volume with 1 million users is going to be really high. It's kind of like with Coinbase and the NFT thing, right? Like, where you're going to have this magnitude, even though, like, I don't personally use that platform, you're going to have this magnitude of people that's waiting to do it, because that's the more common way for people to get involved here in the States. So I was actually going to talk a little bit about that Robinhood wallet, just because I just think that it will be a little bit of a wait, but I think it'll be a well polished wallet once it comes out.
I think so too. Like they need to do that more of a simplified wallet, because that's their users, right? A lot of them are just wanting a simple way of purchasing or doing something. That's exact same thing in Canada. I found out what's popular is Wealthsimple, and a lot of these 30-year-old to 40-year-olds are kind of on that Wealthsimple, because that's where they buy their oil or their gas and stuff here. So now they're transitioning over to crypto a bit. So people are using that. I had a friend actually reach out to me yesterday and just said, can you give me a list of like 6 cryptocurrencies that I can buy on Wealthsimple that you would suggest? So I did a list of, actually he asked me for a few, but I ended up with 5 of them. I think you'd approve of my list too. It was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you. Yeah.
I mean, you got to think about it like stuff like that, the Robinhood stuff. I mean, like you said, it has to be that simplicity factor to make it easy to use, because a lot of these people who hold their Doge there, they're not even thinking about it as they're not actually holding a Doge coin that is on an exchange, right? Like, so to be able to lock up your value on the exchange just shows you how much value you're giving to that exchange with nothing in return, unless the coin increases in its value. So that's just like another interesting take on the simplicity factor that they're going to have for that wallet.
Yeah.
But jump into another article. It's been rumors, like Reddit might be preparing for their own NFT platform, and that's going off of they've been making some job offering posts for engineers with a background in the platform. So, and they said they would be responsible for millions of users a day. And I really think, if NFTs did come to the Reddit platform, I mean, Reddit has a nice sized community. I haven't been involved in Reddit in a while, and to like not be involved in it and then come back to it, and see how far it's gone. It's like Reddit went a long way, so they definitely have a nice user base, and that could pay off dividends for them.
Yeah, well, even not my oldest account. My one of my accounts is 9 years old now, and I don't think it's even my oldest one. But I mean, I just
Really?
where they've transitioned, yeah. And like the crypto, the crypto that they're giving out for tips, like in crypto wallet, I forget what they call them, but it is a Reddit token, which is kind of interesting. But I mean, I still think along with the NFTs, we're going to see a more refined version of that crypto. Oh, and speaking of that, I heard something interesting. Don't ask me for the article because I don't know where it is, but they were discussing MetaMask actually coming out with their own token now as well. And that is huge. If they do that, that is
I mean, I would think that MetaMask already had their own token, just based off the fact that they have the exchange, right? Like, so if they have or a wallet, like to be able to move currency there, there has to have be a native token to do it. Like, I wouldn't,
I thought,
unless I'm, yeah, I might be looking at that one wrong, but that would be cool. I mean, I think anybody who's right now, I mean, the reason why I was talking about the Reddit doing their own thing is just because it's kind of following that social media trend that's going on right now, where you have Facebook creating NFTs, you have Reddit doing it now, Twitter, so it's like the social media people are getting involved. So it's like they're going to pick up the mass adoption in one way or another, right?
yeah, I agree with that. Is it my turn now? I think it's my turn, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry about that. So
Yeah, good.
there was an information leak, which me and you aren't worried about it, but and it wouldn't be my first time my emails being leaked on something. But 3 million coin market cap email address have been leaked. This is as of Tuesday. Have I Been Pawned says the website database was breached on October 12th, 2021. Exactly 3,117,548 emailed addresses, not including passwords, were stolen in the security breach. Do you know what's kind of funny about that too as well is a lot of these stolen emails end up in a database on the dark web, and I just have a feeling companies end up buying them as much as other people, because if you had a list of CoinMarketCap users, it's a perfect cryptocurrency emails to have to definitely market to people. So
yeah, I agree. I mean anybody whose email got leaked, they can just be prepared for a little bit more spam mail.
yeah,
Make sure you don't reply or click any foreign links, but like anything like that, I don't think people who essentially people who use the cryptocurrency the right way, like I don't think they use their email that they're trading with their email. So I think there's a lot of other emails like Proton email, privacy emails that people can use, to back your accounts and stuff like that. So always make sure you protect yourself, even on stuff like CoinMarketCap as well.
and the big thing is like using Google authenticators and stuff like that as well. Like there's all these backups to make sure that your information, get a text to your cell phone to let you know that somebody's in there trying to change the password. Like there's so many steps that you can take to protect yourself. So it's just about making sure to take those proper steps and protect your information so that that doesn't happen. And like you say, I at least have one junk email that I've had forever and ever and ever that I use to register for everything, because well, I mean some of the stuff not for wallets and that, but I mean for the junky websites, like where you're going to get junk mail afterwards. You always have that one email that you don't care about. If somebody asks you in the store for your email, you're like, oh yeah, I got that one. Yeah, no problem.
You're gonna have like 5 of those. But yeah, I agree with you. Another interesting thing that I read today is a lot of people were talking about how like as America keeps printing money, the value of Bitcoin keeps rising, right? And it's because like the inflation. So it's like very interesting to see how this is starting to really take heed. And I think that's why they brought it onto like the stock exchange, even with the EFTs. So that's very interesting. And then like this the whales like kind of position themselves and on the derivatives, so like, they're taking in large amounts of these the crypto and actually starting to store them and take them off the exchanges. So when that happens, that kind of a sign that people are going long. When they're leaving the Bitcoin on the exchange, that means that they're open to trading it, correct? So like, you got to think, when people are heavy on derivatives, that means that they're taking money and actually storing it cold, and that's almost like the TVO, like, your total value lock. So pay attention to things like that, and where the whales are moving their money. So I think that's a very interesting piece of news that I've seen today.
Oh yeah, and like, if you look at in Canada, it's all over the news right now that propane, for instance, is going to go up by 200% in the next little while, which is insane, like just expensive. So going to fill your barbecue tank up or whatever is going to get a little bit more expensive or whatever. But I mean, that's where you're going to see the main driver behind some of the stuff. Next is gas, and then you got your oil, your softwood lumbers, like those kind of things are your drivers where you really are going to see that inflation hit them. And
I mean, yeah, I mean, because you got to think, like, only way that American can really back their dollar, right now, outside of inside of the global market. I hate to say outside, sorry. Inside the global market is, we kind of lean on the petro, like the petrodollar and the oil. So with that, anytime there's some kind of, feel a change of power, we try to raise the price of oil, and then, kind of make up for it, do a little bit of the difference while, doing some other things. But there's a lot of manipulation in all of it, as far as like, any kind of market. So sometimes when people talk about, like BSC having rug pools, or, like, or if the ERC20 contracts having rug pools, you got to remember, any market is subject to some form of manipulation.
yeah,
That's kind of like one of the things that you learn in marketing.
yeah, and it's always like, I just feel the safer thing to be in the future is going to be cryptocurrency for sure, though. There's no, as I made a joke earlier, but it's not a joke, is it's not like cryptocurrency is going to be able to go out and mint a $1 trillion platinum token to take care of $1 trillion in debt, like the US is planning on doing, or what they've talked about doing.
I hope they did. It was a little bit more than that. It was I think it was 1 point. No, it was shit.
Each coin, each physical coin that they're going to mint is $1 trillion in a platinum coin. That's what
wow.
they're talking about for an emergency meeting, was to hold off the debt, was to print these platinum coins that are mint them as $1 trillion. If they did that, like, I don't even know.
I mean, they would. I mean, you got to remember, they printed a lot more than that annually, just for a lot of different budgets here in the States. So,
yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
What else you got?
I don't really. Oh yeah, I mentioned about Bitcoin flash crashes on Binance US. Market pulls back as super cycle predicted. So it just basically is talking about what happened when Bitcoin dropped from almost, it says here, sales 592 Bitcoin today at 2:43 p.m. on Binance US caused a flash crash of negative 87%. Hope you weren't leveraged. That's what it's saying. So, like, I mean, the marketers said that they didn't do it on purpose the way that it happened. They didn't mean to do it that way. But in the end, did they truly mean it that way? Because, I mean, like, it's saying anyone that's leveraged or anything like that using Binance, that definitely impacted that price to cause some people to lose their money.
Oh yeah, and we covered this a little bit yesterday as well. Like, it was one of the topics that brought up, but like, that's what I was saying. People who had their short losses in, even if it was, 5% down or 10% down, you got wrecked. You got liquidated. So you woke up, you went to bed last night, and then you woke up today, and you was liquidated, and the prices are right back up to where you were higher. I think it went back up to around 65 to 67,000 right after that. So very interesting how that took place, and it also happened on a Kraken exchange where it went down to about $12,000. But this shows how how I think, you know, on the back end, to be honest, you know, like I think it has something to do with the dollar tether, and you know how much it weighs into that, and as it starts to come under a little scrutiny, you see people wanting to kind of cash out on the value that they use to get that and move it around.
Yeah.
So kind of interesting to see. But you know, the other thing I wanted to bring up today, like we always do, I'm going to jump into the market cap. I made a kind of a prediction on the market cap the other day where I was talking about it being up around 2.75, saying that it might come down. It would be healthy to come down and get around the 2 point, the high 2.4s or the low 2.5s. And today it's at the 2.504. So it's kind of good on the prediction. I was talking about the dominance and how much the dominance needs to come down because it was up high around 47.71. And currently today, Bitcoin dominance is only 45.5, Ethereum up to 18.6. So really good news. So I think the market is recovering or retesting in a really good manner. So we don't want it to just take straight off and go up, right? So we wanted to take this time. A lot of the large market caps are the top 50 or the top 100 are currently, you know, like kind of consolidating or just chilling out on the pump that they just made, but a lot of good moves to be made. And then, you know, as always, 1111 on the parachain news with Polkadot. So that's going to be great news. And we appreciate you guys coming through again, kicking it with us for a little bit and hearing a little bit about the daily crypto news. Scott, you want to leave them with anything?
Just as always, we're going to be coming out with more announcements for Polkadot, and there's more chains of Polkadot that might be announced too as well. So it's going to be
guys, and also check it.
Fun to see.
Go ahead.
That's
okay. Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be fun to see. Definitely gonna be fun to see. But make sure you guys follow our Telegrams over at BigONE Exchange as well as the Asia Podcast community. Come in, say hi. We do a couple other video chats or video chat AMAs over there, as well as, you know, just bringing in new communities and welcome them to our platform where we also vet projects for AMA. So thank you guys again, and we'll see you next time.
Have a wonderful day, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.